Hi guys, I'm Angel. I'm back with another message. This one's from Archangel Gabriel. I don't even know what I'm going to title this yet, but it is what it is. It's kind of a little bit longer message, and it's a little bit more interactions this time too, which I love. Doesn't really matter. But you guys, if you guys resonate with this message, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate it. And let's get started, okay? It says, Hello, angel. Blessings from above. This is Archangel Gabriel. The Lord our God, the Creator, is the only God, and Jesus, his Son, is the Lord and Savior. Good afternoon, beloved. There's a lot to talk about today. Are you ready? And I'm like, yeah, of course. He goes, well, very well. The first thing I want to talk about is the movement of energetic frequency among the collective. Collective, you are doing a great job in your endeavors of spirit. We are so happy to have your frequencies elevate and resonate with and repairing the collective energetic frequency manipulations. We are all healing each other on the grandest scale known to man. The integrations of the changelings are being recognized by more and more every day. Hello to the highest of angelic forms on Earth's plane. We are in the best version of ourselves now and forever and always. Yes, forever and always. There's the greatest story fruition taking place. What other book is as grand in our book of life? And he laughs. He says, well, we'll continue this segmented stories of word in so many nations to come. And then he laughs again. This is the grandest story of God's ascension to his foretold endeavors in the brightest sense. There are no coincidences. Why do you think so many of you are experiencing the same gifts in different aspects? It's because we are stronger in number with the power of God's army. Who can deny so many occurrences in angelic forms across the world that have never met? Can you deny what's meant to be? Then he laughs. He says, what's meant to be will be. We are the storytellers for the future generations, just like Adam and Eve and Moses and David and John and your favorite angel. We would have to include Noah. Why do you think Noah's name is so dear to your heart, Angel? Okay, so Noah is my best friend from like middle school to high school. I just always loved the name. Okay, I've always loved the name, and so I kind of like told him when I was younger. He was, I don't know, I think he was just in high school at that time, and I was like, yeah, you know, if I ever have a little boy, I'm gonna name him after you. And he like just gave me the biggest smile, but it was really cute. So like I kind of promised myself that I would do that, but I never really had a boy, so nonetheless, whatever. But I was like, so what does this have to do with you know, Noah? You know, like what is missing? What am I missing? You know? And he's like, beloved angel Analea, your knowledge of the higher realms is essential. What have you done in your kingdom God gave you after the battle with the demon you received your light code the first time with? And I was like, well, what I wrote was I put flowers and foliage and trees and rivers and mountains in it. And then that's when my animals started coming. But what does that have to do with Noah? Once again, I asked that, right? But you guys, I put trees. It was like just bare land, and like I just created like the flowers. And it just grew all at once. You know, the mountains, the rivers, all of it was at one time, and it went vast. And then the sun and the moons and all of that. It was mine to create. Okay, so just. It's whatever, okay? I'm going to continue with the message now, okay? So, beloved, your animals came, when your animals came, what happened with your first unicorn or your first Pegasus, or how about the plethora of Phoenix? Okay, so with the unicorn and the Pegasus, it started with one, and then the male came, and then the foals came after that. But whenever the first Pegasus came, I didn't ride it that time. I actually like just petted it and put my forehead to its forehead, and it kind of just laid down on the ground, okay? And the unicorn, it just came running in from around the river and came up to me and just like stopped like in its tracks. It was running, by the way, but that was then it came up with its mate, and then it came up with a baby after that. So each interaction was 3 different interactions on each of those. But with the Phoenix, you guys, the Phoenix was like the first was it was on the floor of the grass, in this tall grass. The other one was in the trees, and then when I went, it was just all the same interaction. But then it went to a cave. The one that was in the tree flew to a cave, right? And I followed it to the cave, and that's where like it's a whole family. It's like, you know, like a chicken coop or whatever. It's like just there's a shit ton of them, and I had my masculine with me, or so I thought it was my masculine at the time. You guys, you know, I was kind of weary about going with him anywhere because it was the energy wasn't fluid. It was a little bit like standoffish. So I didn't. So I just kind of like took him to the to the grass and to wherever like wherever I wanted to take him. And I kind of like was testing him to see what he would do with the interaction of my animals. And when we went into the cave, it was like the first phoenix came down, and he was like, he like basically smelled him, but then he's like started pecking at him, and I'm like, like, all right. And so like they all circled around, and they was all like pushing him out of the cave, you guys. So it's like, your spirit animals know whenever something is right, wrong, and correct. They understand the energy, and if it's not the energy that's for you or your match, they will kick it out. You know what I mean? They will end the whole thing. So that's when you need to end the meditation and come back out. And you can guys go into it later. You know what I mean? There's different levels, different devils, you guys. You guys need to have discernment, and like especially if you can't feel the light, that's when you need to test the other entity or whoever's in front of you. Because sometimes you really can't see faces. So you guys need to be like, you guys need to just pay attention to that, okay? So also, well, I'm not going to do that one. I said, he said, so I asked about if I should address the masculine, and I just did that, okay? I said, okay, so when I was still fighting in the battles spiritually, do I need to say anything about my lion too? And you guys, my lion was my main one. He's the one that attacks mostly. I don't even have to command him to, but I can command him to. Basically, he'll come up and he'll smell whoever I'm with, whatever like that, or he'll either jump on him, approach him, or attack him. Especially if it's like the demons in the spiritual battles, yeah, he'll help, okay? But as far as like the masculine and the feminine energies, he'll either come and nudge the masculine towards me, or he will lay down in between us, or if it's not the right masculine, or it's like not the right energy, or somebody's trying to influence that energy, he will stand in between or lay in between. That's what it is. It is what it is, okay? So I asked if I should tell you guys the commands that I give him. They said no, that's mine. And so I'm like, okay, it is what it is. So he continues to say, okay, now we direct the collective to stand firm with the animals and spirit. Away from the darkness and animals, spirits, you will be able to tell by the marks, the feelings you have arise in the eyes, of course. Okay, you guys, you'll know the marks. You'll see them. I'm not going to tell you what those are because that's for you to discover. That's for your discernment. You guys need to learn how to utilize your energy to attain those marks, okay? And to be able to see them. So that's for you guys to figure out. I'm not going to tell that to you. I says, can I ask what this means for the collective energetic frequency elevation? And they say, you may. The collective all have spirit animals in God's kingdom, each assigned to one and only. This may be taken out of interpretation, but those who receive this message will understand. His kingdom is vast with life form, from foliage and flowers and animals beyond what is imaginable on earth. And then what I remember, you guys, is like this big caterpillar. I went to like another dimension, and there's this big caterpillar, and he was like the size of a tree, but just, and he's a fat guy, he's just a fat guy, and he's just, going along, he smelled me and like kept going on. And I was like, so I was walking beside him, and I, walked over to him while he was going up the tree, and he just looked at me and then kept going, like, like nothing. So I was like, this thing was huge, dude. Okay, but anyways, yeah, he was cute. Yeah. Anyways, back to the channeling, okay? So he says, then he laughs, he says, absolutely, angel. Nonetheless, the animals are majestic when traveling in spirit. Sometimes you will have negative contacts. These are dark in nature, much like the entities that were destroyed or observed, then sent out by your animals. Think of it as spiritual protection. You channel at the speed of light to use your spirit, and should you need to illuminate your sword to see in the dark, you may. Do this as well. Your shield is always on, and you can use it at a distance. You guys, if you know about pushing out your energy and creating a bubble, like vulnerable protection, it's the same thing with your shield. You can do this as well. And how you illuminate your sword, or whenever you need to illuminate your sword to see is up to you. You don't always have to use that. But there will be times where you come automatically into a dimension that you need to raise a frequency in or address something in. and you will need to illuminate your sword of truth to attain that visual there. Anyways, um, but he says, but you know this, all angel. The collective doesn't. They will need to learn to elevate or de-escalate their frequency in a format where they can regulate it when it gets too high, and how to maintain height and frequency when need be, and automatically lower it in battle. Think of it as like, you guys, like, you know, like you're surrounded by a bunch of entities that you need to channel your light to, you know, utilize your light, is blow them away, you know, create a bomb, whatever you need to do in your battle. That's what you can do. But if you have a friendly person that's coming to assist you, it's kind of like friendly fire. You don't want to throw that energy out there, because it's kind of just like a waste. So you can also automatically lower your energy by causing a distortion, or even to cloak yourself when moving through different aspects of different realities. Nonetheless, if you guys know, you know. If you don't, I'm sorry. But maybe you guys will get there one. I hope you guys get there one day. Okay, so he says, this is no small task, as you know, angel. You all will make mistakes, but love heals, and so does frequency. And now for the last message to be addressed. There's one difference in the way you think and in her thought. Never has to come to pass that she isn't what she is. She is sure about what she is, and that's all she knows and shows. There's nothing she does that isn't full of love and foresight. She carries God in her heart. There's not malice there. There's not gain. There's not selfishness. There's no selfishness. Only love for God, herself, her masculine, and the others whom want to love and help give love to the world. How's that for your answer in the development of your hearts? Angel doesn't ask questions. She just is, and does so when she is told it's fine. She shows it's fine. She knows it's fine because sorry guys, it's hard to read. Because she believes in God and herself, the gift she's been given, so she has no issue with being ordained. What more could you ask for? This is all for today. Angel, we ask you to be loved. If you can try to be patient, we'll take care of the rest. There's more to come. Blessings, beloved. Asking you shall receive, in His will, in His way, in His time. This is for the collective and so much more. Kisses from heaven, angel, of light to be divine, and hold the water that overflows your cup forever and always. Archangel Gabriel, closing. Yeah, you guys, it was kind of hard to read that last little part. Sorry about that if I got tongue-tied. But, guys, that's the message for today. If you guys like the message, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I especially like if you guys comment on my videos. I love you so very much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Be blessed. Bye.